Hello, my name is Jamie Kelly. I'm here today to talk to you today around an area of both academic and professional research on the future of workspace, immersive workspaces, and the implications from knowledge workers working from home due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which currently the world is going through. A scene from an office from approximately 80 years ago, where you see rows of desks of we would now call knowledge workers working on specific tasks, something which has not particularly changed over the last period of time. Fast forward, here you see an image from Mad Men series, whereby offices still very much can be areas of closed door, hierarchy, and also power as well. Something which, as I said, the current pandemic is changing. Fast forward to 2020, you see that this image is not dissimilar from the first image I shown, where there's rows of desks, where fundamentally still knowledge workers are it's still the place where they work. The shift has been a little bit from task to activity-based work. Knowledge worker productivity, how and where these work, is of key importance to these and other organisations. It is, in fact, one of the European Commission's top two strategic focuses for 2024. February 2020, 85% of knowledge workers typically work from a centralized office on a Monday to Friday, 5-day week, with 15% of the total workforce and knowledge workers working from home. Simply 1 month later, March 2020, COVID-19 hit the world as a global health pandemic. My area of research is focused on the workplace implications that has had and subsequently will have. 1 month later, April 2020, 85% of those knowledge workers working in offices are now working at home. The implications of that from a physical space and adaptation technology and also their productivity is an area of my research. My area of research is novel. Historically, most of the research has been conducted in manufacturing and industrial environments rather than on knowledge workers working from home, and typically on teams rather than on individual productivity. A 2018 OECD report found that 46% of knowledge workers stated that space had an impact on their productivity. Now, this productivity had to exist within an adapted workspace, which typically they were not used to work with, and their ability to connect to that space. Out of a centralized office now, knowledge workers have started to think more about the impact of physical and other immersive spaces working from home. So technology becomes secondary, whereby your office assistant at home may be your dog as much as your technology. I selected two personas to assess from a knowledge worker perspective. The first one, the road warrior, a scene from Mad Max, illustrating the speedy retreat back to what in this case was the home office. In reality, the road warrior is in actual fact a persona who actually spends 60% of their time out of their office, not working from home. Typically, that could be from a cafe or their car, and whereby they're using a laptop to do most of their business. The second persona is the office-centric based worker who typically spends 80% of the time in and around the office, working from the desk, who has access to quite a sophisticated range of ecosystem in terms of technology. I took a three-dimensional approach. Number one, inclusive design methodology. Two, design thinking. And three, as part of broader research, I've developed a protocol and a model around the 4 dimensions to productivity, of which physical and immersive space is one. The three research questions were: number one, the attitude change to physical and immersive workspaces working from home. Number two, the impact on productivity. And number three, their attitude in relating to the use of immersive and future VR technology. Four key data points out of my research, two to focus on. One, 32% now thought that physical space was more important than technology when working from home, and 17% favoured using VR or other immersive space type of tools to help them work from home in the future. The European Commission has just announced a 122 billion increase for research and innovation, part of which will be used around better understanding the workplace for SMEs to enable their productivity in the future. This area of research will continue to increase in importance at a global strategic level due to COVID-19 accelerating the need for more understanding around connected, immersive workspaces and working from home, in addition to advancing technology for humanity. A summary of my research, three phase. Phase one I've presented here today for you. Phase two I'll be commencing shortly, and phase three will be more longitudinal. Before the pandemic, 15% of knowledge workers worked from home. That's expected to rise to 40%. Thank you very much for your time today.